down. What's going on that beautiful mind? I'm on your magic of misery rhyme. I'm on sorted. Don't worry, I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You can't see, but I'm alright. 'Cause all of me lies all of you. What breath of mine drawing me into me on. Got my head spinning, no kidding, can't pin you down. What's going on back home? I'm on your magical mystery line, and I'm so dizzy, no overhead, I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. Go crazy and out of my mind, 'cause I'm me loves all of you. To continue, Elliott web theory. Reading. Lesson 1. Introduction to the wave principle. In the Elliott wave principle, a critical appraisal. How Hamilton Bolton made this opening statement: as we have advanced through some of the most unpredictable economic climate imaginable, covering depression, major war, and post-war. Reconstruction and boom. I have noted how well Elliott's wave principle has fitted into the facts of life as they have developed. I have accordingly gained more confidence that this principle has a good quotient of basic value. The web principle is Ralph Nelson Elliott's discovery that social or crowd behavior, trends, and reverses in recognizable patterns. Using stock market data as his main research tool, Elliott discovered that the ever-changing path of stock market prices reveals the structural design that in turn reflects basic harmony found in nature. From this discovery, he has developed a rational system of market analysis. Elliott isolated 13 patterns of movement or waves that recur in market price data and are repetitive in form, but are not necessarily repetitive in time or amplitude. He named, defined, and illustrated the patterns. He then described how these structures link together to form larger versions of those same patterns. How they in turn link to form identical patterns of the next larger size, and so on. In a nutshell, then, the web principle is a catalog of price patterns and an explanation of where these forms are likely to occur in the overall part of market development. Elliott's descriptions constitute a set of empirically derived rules and guidelines for interpreting market action. Elliott claimed predictive value for the web principle, which now bears the name Elliott, the Elliott web principle. Although it is the best forecasting tool in existence, the web principle is not primarily a forecasting tool. It is a detailed description of how markets behave. Nevertheless, that description does impart an immense amount of knowledge about the market's position within the behavioral continuum, and therefore about its probable enduring path. The primary value of the web principles, that is, provides a context for market analysis. This context provides both a basis for disciplined thinking and a perspective on the market's general position and outlook. At times, its accuracy in identifying and even anticipating changes in direction is almost unbelievable. Many areas of mass human activity follow the web principle. But the stock market is where it is most popularly applied. Indeed, the stock market considered alone is far more important than it seems to casual observers. The level of aggregate stock prices are direct and immediate measure of the popular valuation of man's total productive capability. That this valuation has formed is a fact of profound implications that will ultimately revolutionize the social sciences. That, however, is a discussion for another time. Ralph Nelson Elliott's genius consists of a wonderfully disciplined mental process suited to starting chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average and its predecessors with such thoroughness and precision that he could construct a network of principles that cover all market action known to him up to the 1940s. At that time, with the Dow in the hundreds, Elliot predicted a great bull market for the next several decades that would exceed all expectations at a time when most investors felt it impossible that the Dow could even better its 1929 peak, as it shall see phenomenal stock market forecasts. Some are pinpoint accuracy years in advance, have accompanied the history of the application of the Elliott web approach. Elliot had theories regarding the origin and meaning of the patterns he discovered, which we will present and expand upon in lessons 16 to 19. Until then, suffice it to say that the patterns described in lesson 1 to 15 have stood the test of time. Often one will hear several different interpretations of the markets Elliot have stated, especially when cursory of the curve studies of the averages are made by latter the experts. However, most uncertainties can be avoided by keeping charts on both arithmetic and semi-logarithmic scale, and by taking care to follow the rules and guidelines as laid down in this course. Welcome to the world of Elliot. Welcome to the world of Elliot. Basic tenet. Here, tenet, right? Tenet. Backward, tenet. Basic tenet. Under the web principle, every market decision is both produced by meaningful information and produces meaningful information. Each transaction, while at once an effect enters the fabric of the market, and by communicating such transactional data to investors, joins the chain of causes of others' behavior. This feedback loop is governed by man's social nature, and since he has such a nature, the process generates forms. As the forms are repetitive, right? They have predictive value. Sometimes the market appears to reflect outside conditions and events, but at other times it is entirely detached from what most people assume are casual conditions. The reason is that the market has a law of its own. It is not propelled by the linear causality to which one becomes accustomed in the everyday experiences of life. Nor is the market the cyclically rhythmic machine that some declare it to be. Nevertheless, its movement reflects such structure, formal progression. The progression unfolds in webs. Webs are patterns of directional movement. More specifically, a web is any one of the patterns that naturally occur under the web principle, as described in lessons 1 to 9 of this course. The five web pattern in market progress ultimately takes the form of five webs of a specific structure. Three of these webs, which are labeled 1, 3, and 5, 1, 3, 5, and 5, 1, 2, 5. Three of these webs, which are labeled 1, 3, 5, actually affect the directional movement. They are separated by two counterpart interruptions, which are labeled 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, separated from 2, 4, separated by two counterpart interaction 2, 4, which are labeled 4, as shown in figure 1. The two interruptions here, 2, 4, are apparently in requisite for overall directional movement of occur. Here basic pattern web 1 is 1, web 2, 2, web 3, web 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Web 3 no need to be long guessed. By the way, it must be shorted web. If I have to note the main point of the article for my understanding. In Ralph Nelson Elliot did not specifically state that there is only one overriding form, the five web pattern, but that is undeniably the case. At any time, the market may be identified as being somewhere in the basic five web pattern at the largest degree of trend, because the five web pattern is the overriding form of market progress. All other patterns are subsumed by it. Web mode Web mode. There are two modes of web development, motive and corrective. Modes. Here mode. Two mode of movement. Motive and corrective. Motive webs have 5 web structure, while corrective webs have 3 web structure, or a variation thereof. Motive mode is employed by both the 5 web pattern of figure 1 here and its same directional components, i.e. webs 1, 3, and 5, and so on. Their structures are called motive because they powerfully impel the market. Motive impel the market. Corrective mode is employed by all counterpart interruptions, which include web 2 and 4. Corrective mode is employed by all counterpart correction in 2. Motive 1, 3, 5, corrective 2, 4. Their structures called corrective because they can accomplish only a partial replacement or correction of the progressive achievement any preceding motive web. Thus, the two modes are fundamentally different both in their roles and their construction, as will be detailed throughout its course. Motive corrective, corrective, motive impel the market. Motive impel the market. 1, 2, 5 motive, 2, 4 corrective. So let's review. Impulsive number, motive corrective, corrective weapon letter, corrective letter. Impulsive, corrective letter. Motive corrective. Okay, I see. is corrective of this verb corrective of this corrective mean corrective ก็คือมัน pull back เนี่ยขึ้นไปครบ5แล้วใช่ไหมครบ5แล้วก็พอครบขึ้นที่5ก็มา A B C ก็ pull back มาเป็นก็คือ collective A B C แต่ถ้าเป็นในเฉพาะตรงนี้เนี่ยใน2กับ4เนี่ยเป็น collective คือมันย้อนไป1มาย้อนมา2ไป3ย้อนมา4ไป5ย้อนมา A นะ A B C แล้วก็มานับ1ใหม่ C เสร็จนับ1ใหม่แล้วก็2 3 4 5อัน1โลแค่1โล2โลน้องมันซ้อนกันก็คือ2 1นี่1 2 3 4 5ก็คือพอ A B C ก็กลายเป็น2ของลูกใหญ่เนี่ยพอ1 2 3 4 5ก็กลายเป็น3ของลูกใหญ่มันซ้อนกันอยู่เรื่องของมันจบ A B C 4 Oh this is very important for me I just get it I get it นั่นเลยเราจะเป็นคนเข้าใจอะไรยากหน่อย1 2พอ1ใช่ไหม1 2 3 4 5เสร็จก็มา A B C C นี่กลายเป็น2ของอันใหญ่เนี่ยเราสามารถนับตรงอันไหนก็ได้ที่มันซ้อนกันแล้วมันครบอยู่ของมันพอจบ C ก็คือเป็น2ของอันใหญ่เนี่ยอันวงเล็บเนี่ยคือชื่อจำไม่ได้แต่ว่าอาจจะว่าเอาทำความเข้าใจใช่ไหมมันเป็น1วงเล็บเอาใหม่1 2 3 4 5 1 motive corrective 3 motive 4 corrective 5 motive ใช่ไหมก็เป็น1ของ1วงเล็บนี่1วงเล็บต้องนับ A B C ให้ครบแล้วมันจะกลายเป็น2วงเล็บเนี่ยปุ๊บนับ1พอ2จบเนี่ยต้องนับ1ใหม่2ใหม่ถ้าเรานับตรงนี้ต้องนับให้มันครบนะจึบI get it thank you very much จะเข้าใจอะไรยากหน่อยต้องอ่านเยอะๆถึงจะเข้าใจฟังคนอื่นก็ไม่เข้าใจหรอกก็ต้องอ่านเองถึงจะเข้าใจโอเควันนี้ได้7หน้าถึงหน้า7วันนี้ถึงหน้าที่7นะวันนี้ถึงหน้าที่7 Thank you so much for learning Thank you so much for learning together Have a happy day all day all night all the time